Whether I'm flying halfway across the world or I'm just taking a simple little weekend road trip, these 24 Amazon travel essentials go with me on every single trip. I mean, that's why they're travel essentials, right? In fact, all of these items are going with me on my trip to Puerto Rico that I leave on next week. So let's go. I just have everything laid out kind of in a chaotic way. I have no organization to this one today. I am just going to go through each item as I pick them up. And I think the best one to start with is the biggest, and that is my level 8 luggage. This level 8 carry-on suitcase has been my tried and true suitcase for the past almost 2 years. And this is what I will be packing in when I go to Puerto Rico next week. It's got multiple compartments. The wheels are multi-directional wheels, so they just glide so nicely. It's very lightweight for a hard case suitcase, which makes it a lot easier to carry. And you know, as we get older and maybe a little weaker, although we're going to talk about that in a bit, this is really, really helpful to have. And on the suitcase, I do have item number 2, which are these really cool handle covers that also act as luggage tags. In fact, here's one still in its packaging because I haven't put it on another suitcase yet, but it has a little contact card in there, so you can just write your information. Now, these days, I don't write my physical address on my luggage tags. I will just write my name, my phone number, and an email address because, well, you know, I just don't necessarily want people knowing my physical address when I'm going to be gone for a while. So those are the only items that I will put on here. But these are they're just so cute. They're colorful. They're going to make it really easy to spot your luggage when it's coming off of the carousel if you have to check it, because as we know, even if you try to go carry on only, a lot of times these days, you have a good possibility you might have to check your baggage. One of the other things I forgot to mention on this suitcase that I really, really like is that it comes with a built-in TSA locks up here. So you don't even have to worry about bringing an extra lock with you. This interior front pocket, because I travel a lot where I am taking my laptop because I'm going to be doing editing and putting together videos and such while I am traveling. So this nice front pocket has lots of pockets. It's got the pocket here that's padded that I can fit my 15-inch MacBook into, and then lots of other little pockets that things can get put into. This is by far, I mean, I don't even know why I have any of my other suitcases at this point. I have only used this for 2 years. I've debated getting a larger one, and I might, but I do like kind of having the limitation of a smaller suitcase so that I don't overpack, or at least try not to overpack. As I've said in other videos, I'm not a minimalist packer, but I'm not a maximalist packer either. So I don't know, what does that make me, an average packer? Next up is the Hero Clip, and I have used this a few times. I am excited to take this to Puerto Rico because we are sharing a bungalow with, there's going to be 4 of us, 4 ladies in one bungalow and 4 ladies in another bungalow. So I have a feeling that places to hang things are going to be at a minimum, and we're going to have lots of wet bathing suits to hang up to dry and things like that because it's going to be a very beachy, hikey kind of trip. I'm excited to use this Hero Clip because the Hero Clip is like a carabiner, but you can also use it as a hook that you can hook over a door, and then you can hang things on. You can, I've seen somebody recently that used this to make a clothing line so that they could hang stuff on the clothing line, which is something I will probably be doing when I'm in Puerto Rico. Yeah, there's just a lot of uses. And as you guys know, my issue with especially American airports not having hooks on the backs of their doors, not because they weren't in there originally, but because they've gotten ripped off, like just torn off the back of the doors because people put really, really heavy things on them. So being able to have my own hook to hook my stuff up off of the floor when I'm in a bathroom, especially a public bathroom, I really, really love this thing. Next, I've got these foldable reading glasses. They are so slimlined and they're the cutest. If you've seen any of my tiny or at least the last Tiny Things video that I did. This was one of my absolute favorites. And they come in a couple of different colors. I, of course, like blue a lot. So I got them in this really pretty blue pattern. And they kind of go really, really well with the shirt I'm wearing today. I didn't plan that. Just cute little reading glasses so I can look at menus or be able to read signs. These foldable reading glasses, absolutely an essential for me these days. Number 5 is my eye mask. I love this eye mask. It's 3-dimensional, so it's got the holes so that when you put it over your eyes, if you've got eyelashes and you want to open your eye, there's plenty of room for your eyes to open and close inside of these little molded areas. And it's super soft and cushy and cooling, which is really important for those of us who get hot. Now, I'm taking this to Puerto Rico because I have found Airbnbs, hotels, whatever the places that you tend to stay, you don't know what the lighting situation is going to be like inside the room when you are trying to sleep. And I do like for it to be pretty dark when I'm trying to sleep. I don't really need it for the plane because the plane ride over to Puerto Rico from North Carolina is not, we don't have a direct flight, but it's still like a 6-hour travel day for flying from Raleigh to Puerto Rico. This is my favorite. In fact, I lost the last one I had. It got lost on the flight to Japan last summer. So I ordered me another one. That's how much I love these things. Definitely highly recommend if you are looking for an eye mask. Number 6 is something that I just got for Christmas. And I've just started using it. I love this. So I've had super bulky battery operated toothbrushes for a while, and I wanted something that was vibrating toothbrush that I could bring with me traveling because I just feel like my teeth get so much cleaner when I'm using a vibrating toothbrush. So I got one of these Quip toothbrushes, and it's got really lovely silicone bristles. And they're super soft. The head is perfect for fitting in my mouth. It does have the timer, so it's a 2-minute timer, and it gives you like the 30-second intervals for where you need to switch around for each quadrant of your mouth, which I need help with that. Otherwise, sometimes I just sit there and scrub my front teeth. Are any of you like that, where you just scrub those front teeth and you'll occasionally do the back ones, but the front ones you really want to get clean? Yeah, I'll end up doing that. So having a timer on there to let me know when I need to move the toothbrush around in my mouth is really helpful. The other amazing thing about this is that you charge it up and the charge will last 90 days. So if you're traveling, you don't have to take a charger with you, which is fabulous to have one less thing to charge when you are traveling. It comes with this handy dandy little cover for the toothbrush that you just put on over the top of it. It's also got kind of like a little sticky pad here that you can stick to kind of almost any surface, and it'll hold the toothbrush up there. The heads do need to be replaced like every 90 days, and you can get like on a subscription for that. I know I'm kind of crazy to get excited about a toothbrush, but I am. Oral health is super important. If you guys don't know, and I'm not going to get on a soapbox here, but if you're not taking care of your teeth, you can end up with a lot of heart issues. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a medical professional at all. But if you do any research, you will learn that oral health is super, super important to your heart health. And as we get older, we all need to be taking better cares of our heart. Better cares? We all need to be taking better care of our hearts. Number 7 is something that you have, if you've been around for a while, you have heard me talk about a lot. And it is this little pocket tripod. It's the size of a business card. It's super small, easy to carry around. If you like to take pictures and actually be in some of the pictures and videos that you take while you're traveling, because you don't want to get home with all of these landscape and pictures of churches and stuff. What we really want to see when we are looking back on our memories of our trips are actually pictures of us with the people we're traveling with, or, you know, just ourselves in those pictures. And this is a great way to help you do that without having to maybe enlist the assistance of a stranger, or, you know, just you know how you want to set up your phone to take your picture. You can get individual little size holders, these little hook things that the phone goes into, and it comes with like a set of 6 different ones, and they'll all fit different size phones with different cases on them. So you just kind of work around until you find the one that works the best for your size phone. It's really easy to set up. You can do it just simply like this, or you can take these apart and set them next to each other and set your phone on there to do it like horizontally or landscape. There's just so many options to using this. I have talked about doing a video on taking better pictures, and it is coming. Unfortunately, I still have an iPhone 12, and I feel like I need to have a higher level iPhone that most of you guys probably have before I start giving you instructions on how to use your phone for taking pictures. So it's coming. I will be using this a ton. Like I said, it's a whole group of girlfriends going to Puerto Rico. There are going to be 6 of us traveling together, and we're going to do a lot of hiking. So I will be taking lots of videos and pictures because I'm kind of the I'm kind of the historian of the group. I'm kind of the one who usually takes most of the pictures and videos. I mean, shocking that I'm a YouTuber, and that's kind of what I do. Number 8, another favorite that I found last year are these deodorant wipes. Now, I'm going to be taking regular solid deodorant with me to Puerto Rico as well, because I am going to be there 2 weeks and I don't want to take 2 weeks worth of deodorant wipes. But I love having these for freshening up in the airport once I arrive somewhere if I feel like sweaty and dirty. I also love to have these when we go out hiking. So at the end of the hike, I can use one of these to kind of wipe down and get, you know, the musty smell, sweaty, sweat stuff off. You guys know how that is. The box that I got have 3 different scents, and these are very, very, very lightly scented. Like, they are not like an overwhelming perfume that you are putting on. You can barely smell the fragrance from these. And I am very sensitive to most things with smells or chemicals in them. And I've had no issues with any of the 3 of these deodorant wipes. I haven't had one single bump or itch or anything when I use these. Just having a couple in your purse to have along as a freshen up is just amazing. Number 9 is the RFID wallet. And this thing goes with me everywhere. In fact, I use it daily if I'm going out. There are some days I never leave the house. So if I don't leave the house, I don't use it those days. But anytime I'm going out to purchase anything, I always have my RFID wallet with me. I love this bright yellow color. Buffway has a ton of color options. There's room for, like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 different cards if you want to carry that many. I only carry 1 or 2 cards with me at a time, and then some cash, and then my ID, of course. And it's perfect. It's small, it's lightweight, and most importantly, it protects all of your information. So an RFID wallet, small, slimline, you can put it in a pocket so you don't have to carry a purse. Absolutely essential item to have when you are traveling. Number 10 is this cute little pill holder. This is my daily emergency pill holder. Now in here, I have like ibuprofen, I have some allergy medicine. If you've seen any of my stuff from Japan, you know that I got struck with allergies all of a sudden in the middle of the afternoon one day while we were out walking around the fish market. Something just hit me, and major allergies, and it took us like an hour to finally find some allergy medicine for me to take. So from now on, I am carrying around allergy medicine every day with me, just in case. I have some Dramamine, just in case I end up on a really curvy taxi ride and I start to get sick. And I have some anti-diarrhea medicine in here as well. So just, you know, the basics of what you might want during a daily emergency. So I always carry this, and I just love the size. You could just carry these 2 things in your pockets and probably be good for the day. Number 11 is this packable umbrella. If you saw the Japan series, by the way, I am moving all of my travel vlogs over to a new channel called Christi Travels. And that's just going to be for straight out, like, my experiences while I'm traveling in countries or locations, even in the United States, wherever I end up traveling. All of that stuff is going to be over on Christi Travels. And the reason I'm starting that, not to get off the subject, but the reason I'm starting a second channel for that is because, YouTube doesn't really push those vlogs out because this is considered a how-to educational channel. So it gets a little confused when I put up those vlogs. So we're going to put those somewhere else. So make sure you go over there and subscribe if you want to see the vloggy type stuff that I do when I'm traveling and, showing you the fun things that we get to, or, the maybe not so fun things that happen when you're traveling too. But anyway, while I was in Japan, we had a lot of typhoons and I did not have an umbrella. So when I got back, I purchased this packable umbrella, and it will now go everywhere that I travel because rain happens and you just want to be prepared. Number 12. This is something I've actually had these for a while, but I have not taken them traveling. But as I learned traveling this summer, I needed to get in better shape. I needed to get in better shape to be able to do all of the hiking and the carrying around of my suitcase and my backpack everywhere. It really was like a come to Jesus moment of like, I'm not as in good a shape as I probably should be if I want to be traveling as much as I want to. So if you saw a video that I did back in the fall about mistakes that I've made, one of the mistakes is not being fit enough. I don't mean that I need to be skinny or fit in clothing or look any particular way. I just want to be strong enough to be able to do the activities that I want to be able to do when I travel. So one of the things I did is I joined Copilot, the Copilot app, and I have a personal coach on that app that gives me workouts that I do. Right now I'm doing the workouts 3 times a week, and I do here at home, I have some weights and some other things here at home that I use. But when I travel, she sets me up on body weight and band exercises. So I have a whole set of workout bands that I am taking with me, and these are going to travel with me from now on wherever I go, because there's always time to fit in a 20 or 30-minute workout, no matter what you are doing. They're lightweight. They're easy to use, especially if you have something like Copilot where they put together the workout for you and you can just follow along kind of brainlessly. I'll put on a podcast and then I just follow along the workout, and all of a sudden, 30 minutes later, it's done and I feel stronger. These are awesome. Again, don't take up a whole lot of space, and boy, the benefit that you can get from working out and continuing your workouts while you travel, that's kind of priceless. Well, you knew this one was coming up at some point or another, and that is my Tripped Travel Toiletry Kit. So this is the 311 liquids bag, and before I get 5,000 comments about how this is so much bigger than a quart-sized bag that they allow in Europe, probably. I don't know for sure because I haven't traveled in Europe yet. I will be going this year. But the thing that you can do inside this bag is you can pack your items in a quart-sized bag and then stick them in this 311 bag. And if you need to just pull that bag out when you're traveling through Europe, you can do that. I will tell you, in Asia, in Japan and Korea, they never asked once about liquids. We didn't have to take them out of our backpacks. There was nothing ever said about liquids when we were going through the security line. It's becoming that way a lot of the places that you go through security in the US as well. Now I have TSA pre-check, so I don't have to take my liquids out when I go through security as long as TSA pre-check is actually open. Other times that I've had to go through security without TSA pre-check, it's probably 50-50 whether I've had to take my liquids bag out or not. Most places are going away from being super sticklers about the liquids bag because the technology has gotten so much better about detecting whether you have liquids that are big or problematic. It's kind of a moot point as to whether a quart-sized bag can fit in here. However, I know that there are certain countries in certain airports in Europe, like Paris, that are still big sticklers. So if you are going to one of those places, I would take the extra precaution and pack your liquids in a quart-sized bag. Back to why I love the Tripped Travel Toiletry Kit so much. You get your liquids bag and you get your whole 3-piece, hair tie, your 3-piece toiletry kit that is made of like stretchy material, so you can fit odd shaped things in here. It's also got a band back here so you can strap it onto something. It's got a hook so that you can hang it on things when you get into the bathroom. And it's got this second little plastic bag if you have other liquid items that you want to pack in here, especially if you are checking a bag rather than doing carry-on only. I just love the flexibility of this bag. There's so many ways to pack this, and there's so much space to be able to fit everything in there. And lastly, what comes with this kit as well is like a little hair tool bag. So I'll put like my brushes, my straightener, you know, any other little hair tool things that I need to go, or longer, like my makeup brushes I might put in here. Those types of things I will put in this bag. If you don't need it for those items, you can always use it for a pair of shoes too. That, Trip Travel, and we'll have the other item from Trip Travel, while we're talking about Trip Travel, are their compression packing cubes. Absolutely an essential to me. I have used these things for 3 years now, and I have 4 different sets of them. This particular set is a newer set that they have come out with mesh tops, so you can actually see what is inside of the compression cube. But this set comes with, this is the actual laundry bag that comes with the set, and I love that all of their sets come with a laundry bag, because there's nothing worse than having all of your dirty clothes that you're trying to pack back in with your clean clothes, and then you end up having to just wash everything once you get home. And I don't know, I love having a laundry bag. These are the bags, and it comes with, this is one of the larger bags, and then a medium bag, a shoe bag that's all mesh, a small bag, and another medium bag. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 pieces to this whole set. Trip Travel makes amazing compression packing cubes. Their zippers are awesome. They have put a lot of thought and time into creating just a wonderful product. I love that they came out with this shoe bag that really could hold, for me, this could almost hold like 3 pairs of shoes. It's mesh so you can see it, but it's not such a wide mesh that like dirt and sand and stuff is gonna come through the fabric. These are just awesome. Big fan of Trip Travel. And this is not a sponsored video, by the way. None of these items have sponsored me today. These are just all truly my favorite travel essentials that, like I said, I travel with everywhere. This is another one that is not going to be a surprise to anyone, and it is my collapsible water bottle. This thing has seen so much use. I love the size. It's very convenient. You can just put it in your personal item bag, all compressed down, and then when you get inside the airport, you can fill it up and you have your water for your flight. For me also, for all the hiking that we're going to be doing in Puerto Rico, this is going to be really handy to have. It doesn't take up hardly any space. It's very lightweight, and it is easy to clean. I know people have said, you know, an issue about all of the folds, but if you just use a brush, you can clean that out really easily. Another super important item to have, again, pretty much no matter where you travel to, is Glide, or at least something sort of like Glide. I was a runner for years and years. I ran many half marathons and a couple of marathons. No, yeah, don't ever need to do another marathon in my life. Glide was a lifesaver, or rather a thigh saver. And I have found that using it when I travel is also, it's a thigh saver then too. Especially when you are traveling somewhere warm and you're wearing shorts or skirts. It's nice to have something when your thighs are, you know, tend to rub together a little bit and you might end up with a little chafing. Glide is something that goes on every trip with me. These days, keeping everything charged up is absolutely necessary when you are traveling. And there are some times that you don't have access to electricity for a while. So it is important to have a really good charging block or a portable charger with you when you're traveling. I love this My Charge, and this one is a couple of years old. It's slightly, the one that's out now is slightly different than this one, but I like that they come with the lightning charge cable and a USB-C cable for you to use to charge. And this is a 10,000 megahertz one. So it will charge my iPhone like 4 times completely fully. Like it's got a lot of power. Honestly, have never used it where I've gone all the way through all of the power on this yet. So I don't even know how many things I could charge for how long before I ran out of power. This is my overall absolute favorite portable charger. It's not very heavy. It doesn't take up much space. You do have to pack these in either your personal item or your carry-on bag that is going to stay inside the airplane with you. It cannot go in your checked luggage. So just remember that when you're packing a portable battery, you're going to want it with you when you're traveling through the airport or possibly even on the plane anyway. So I don't know why you would pack it in your checked luggage, but I just wanted to point that out. You cannot put these in your checked luggage. This has been a lifesaver at times. There have been times when I've been walking around touring and my battery is dying on my phone. And luckily I had this and I could just hook my phone up to it, and I have my phone and the portable battery next to each other and continue to use them to take videos and pictures. My pile's getting really high over here. Next is my packable backpack. I use this so much. My backpack that I use for traveling on the plane is a bit big and bulky to take with me when I go out hiking or walking around. So having a small a small packable backpack just works out so much better. It packs down to this tiny little case, you know, just a regular backpack. So I can put my water bottle in here. I can put snacks. I can carry my cameras with me. All the things that I need when I'm going out and about, whether it's to tour around a city or to go do hiking. Mostly I will use this for like trails and hiking and outdoorsy kind of stuff. I would probably use something else if I were touring around the city, but I love this thing. I used it a ton when we were in Japan and Korea. I know I'm going to be using it a ton in Puerto Rico because we have lots and lots of hikes and caving and waterfall stuff that we're going to be doing. So I know I'm going to be using this. These come in this brand, Four Monster, I think is what it's called. A Monster. Let's see. Four Monster. This brand comes in a lot of different colors. So if yellow isn't your thing, there are plenty of other colors to choose from. I just like having a bright color because then you can find me if I get lost. Next up are these detergent laundry sheets. These are such a great way to save space when you're packing and save weight when you're packing and get away from another liquid. These happen to be the fragrance free. And again, because I'm sensitive, they do not make me break out. In fact, this is what I use at home all the time. They are little sheets that you can tear apart. And in fact, I won't probably take a whole package of these to Puerto Rico, but I am going to be there 2 weeks, so I will take quite a few. Something somebody in the community mentioned a couple of videos ago is that you can actually use these deodorant sheets to get rid of deodorant stains. If you happen to get a deodorant stain on like a black shirt or something, you can just take one of the sheets and wipe it off. And I tried that. It does work. The other thing that I found, and I don't have to deal with this very often, but I did have to wear a dress with tights recently during very cold weather, which we all know means that there was static cling. Well, I used one of the sheets to wipe up and down my tights, and it completely got rid of the static cling. So there are multiple uses to these detergent sheets besides just using them to wash clothes. And something interesting, I live in a pretty old trailer beach cottage here on the beach. And it's like a 1970s. It's got a few places where some critters can come in. And unfortunately, one of the critters liked the packaging. He didn't get through to the actual detergent sheets, but yeah, he nibbled on the packaging. He's gone. Got rid of him, thank goodness. But yes, that is something, another joy of living at the beach. There's some wonderful things about living at the beach, but there are also some critters here. This next item is something that isn't a necessity for most people, but for me, I love to listen to podcasts, Audible books. I like to listen to music when I'm getting ready. So I love having a little speaker with me when I travel because I don't want to have my pods in the whole time. And this one is so tiny. It's like the size of my palm. It's got a little hook so you can hang it up. I can use my hero clip and hang it somewhere. It's waterproof, so I could have it in the shower with me if I wanted to. It's just a sweet little Bluetooth stereo JBL. JBL is definitely, both of my speakers are JBLs, and the quality is fantastic. I have tried a couple of other Bluetooth speakers and they just don't stand up to the quality of the JBL. But this takes up very little room and it gives me so much joy when I travel. So that always goes with me. Oh, we're getting down to, let's see, what have we got left? Oh, let's talk about personal item bags and backpacks. This Love Book backpack that I got last summer for my trip to Japan and Korea is awesome. This worked out so well for me during my travels last summer, and I've used it a few times since then, and it's perfect. Like, I can even pack almost an entire weekend in this bag, depending on how much technology I'm taking with me. That generally is what will end up taking up more room than you think, is by the time you pack a laptop and a couple of hard drives and some cameras and stuff, there's not much space left. This has been fantastic. And I've done a couple of different videos where I showcase this backpack. So I'll have those linked below in the description. By the way, I know we've gotten all the way through this video and I haven't said this yet. All of these items will be linked in the description below and that first pinned comment if you're interested in taking a look at any of them. I also have an Amazon store where all of these items are highlighted because they are my favorites. So this Love Book backpack is the 17-inch Love Book backpack, which, if you are traveling in Europe, there are quite a few airlines that have limitations that this backpack would not be considered a personal item bag. It would actually be considered a carry-on suitcase because of its size. So I recently I recently ordered the 15-inch version, actually for my mom, because we are going to Ireland this summer and I wanted to make sure that she had a proper sized backpack that she would be able to use. And this is just as nice as the 17-inch one is. In fact, I'm going to be doing a how to simplify your personal item packing video in the next few weeks. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss that, where I'm going to be packing in the 15-inch version. So you'll be able to see how you could pack if you are planning a trip to Europe this summer, which I know there's a lot of people planning on going to Europe this summer. It is one of the most popular places according to the 2024 trends. And a lot of you have also indicated in my videos that you are planning on going to Europe. So make sure you hit subscribe because I'm going to be packing this baby up in a couple of weeks and showing you 5 simple steps to do that. But these two Love Book backpacks are absolute favorites, and I plan on using these for years to come. And speaking about limitations on sizes when you travel to Europe and a few other places around the world, there are also weight limitations. So having a luggage scale with you to make sure that your luggage isn't going to cost you more before you get to the airport it's just a great insurance policy. I take this everywhere I go just to make sure, because I don't want to get caught having to pay an extra $75, $150 when I go to either check in my luggage, or perhaps they tell me I need to gate check because something weighs too much. These are not very expensive. Like I said, just a great insurance policy to have. This next item, I actually have multiple different iterations of this, and it is a sling bag, fanny pack, whatever you would like to call that, because I was not blessed with a great endowment, let's say. I do tend to wear this across my chest, and that works best for me. But I know a lot of people who really prefer to wear this as a fanny pack. Either way works these days, and they are fantastic to have, especially when you're doing a more outdoorsy, athletic sort of trip. I love having something kind of tropical for going somewhere tropical. I do have multiple other ones. I have a black nylon one, I have a brown leather one, I have lots of different straps that I can switch out on those two bags. So I have a whole bunch of sling bag fanny packs that I will pick and choose which one I'm going to take on the trip depending on what I decide to use for my color palette and what I'm going to be doing on that trip. I will have all of them listed below, but yeah, this is the one that's going to Puerto Rico with me because, well, it's just fun. Of course, I have to travel with my Kindle. I love reading on the plane. I love reading when I'm at the beach. I love reading in my bed before I go to sleep. In fact, it's one of the habits that I am trying to instill to help me be a better sleeper these days. So I, of course, will always carry my Kindle with me. I got the Kindle Oasis this summer, so it is waterproof. I might be putting that to the test in Puerto Rico. I'll definitely be using it on the beach. A Kindle is absolutely a must-have for me on any trip that I am taking. And lastly, maybe not super exciting, but are these silicone Ziploc bags. These Quinline, I think is what it's called. I love, love, love using these reusable Ziploc bags, not just for, snacks that I'll put in these little bags, but I use this larger one to actually store all of the items that I want to have access to while I'm in the plane. So I'll put this bag, the seat pocket that's in front of me in the plane, and I'll have like my Kindle in there and my phone and Kleenex and, just a few items that I know I'm going to want to have quick access to so I don't have to keep getting under the seat in front of me and pulling my backpack out. That is one of my absolute favorite travel hacks that I use all the time. And if you want to see more of my favorite travel hacks, just check out this video next.